Great stuff. So how long do you want me to? They want me to. Carol,
Okay,
how long
folks,
do they want me?
let's greet Tony. He's here. With T.O.N.E-z.
Is that me? How you doing? Thanks, everybody. Thank you for coming. And we're going to do this semi-professionally. Thank you very much for coming. A little basic, isn't it? Well, at any rate, thank you again. And basically, we're going to talk a little bit about the book, I guess, and about the album. Not sure what they want me to say, but I'll think up something. I'll lie about something. Our book is called Me, the Mob, and the Music. Do we have one of them anywhere? Can I hold? Oh, I can hold that up. It's this one. And anyway, first of all, let me just introduce T.O.N.E.z, my friend. And essentially, the book is an autobiography with about 3/4 of it. Well, 3/4 of it explaining our very crazy and tumultuous and sometimes scary relationship with our record company, Roulette Records. And the reason it was scary and tumultuous is because, unbeknownst to us, yeah. Okay? Sure. Unbeknownst to us, when we signed with Roulette in 1966, Roulette was a front for the Genovese crime family in New York. And they were a good little independent label, but they also had this very dark side. And the head of the label, Morris Levy, who was the president of the company, was a mobster. We didn't know that either. But what it boiled down to was that these guys from the Genovese family were up there all the time hanging out like a social club, and they were doing all kinds of things through Roulette. They were laundering money, they were selling dope, we didn't know anything about that. And you know, just general carryings on. And so we had to kind of pretend we didn't see any of that and just work around all that. And we couldn't talk about it. We certainly couldn't write a book about it. So when we started writing the book, over 10 years ago, we were going to call it Crimson and Clover. We were going to write about being in the studio and making hits and all that kind of, being on the road and that stuff. But we got about 1/3 of the way into it and realized that if we don't tell the Roulette story, which really is the story, that we were cheating ourselves and everybody else too. So I was very concerned about finishing this because some of these guys were still walking around. So we put it on a shelf for a couple of years, and gradually the Roulette regulars, as I call them, passed on. And actually the last one was Vincent the Chin Gigante, who was in prison, and he passed on. And I actually met him. And the bottom line was that we had no one in our way anymore, so we finished the book. And I basically told the truth as best as I could. How you doing?
Hi.
And so anyway, that's what the book is, and it's being turned into a movie now. And we are really, really honored and thrilled that this is being done. So at any rate, we're really thrilled with all this. We truly are, and I'm very blessed. And what a time for it to happen at this point in my career and in my life for this all to go down. So anyway, that's the story of the book, and if you get a chance to read it, I sure hope you enjoy it. And the other thing we wanted to talk about today is our new album. It's called Alive, and we actually released at the very end of the movie, there's a scene where Morris Levy passes away. This actually happened in 1990, the head of the label. And I found out about it when I was out of town. And I felt really bad because he'd been asking for me, and I was going to go up the next day, and he died a day before I could get back. So I sort of had this imaginary conversation with him in the limousine it's in Chicago, where I was being driven back to the hotel. And that's how they portray it also in the movie. And at that very same moment, the credits start rolling. It's the end of the movie. And this new version of I Think We're Alone Now comes on, which is, it's amazing how that song worked, slowed down with acoustic guitars. And thank you. So it was a very different feeling than the first version of it, which came out in 1967, and that's on the album. And we released it as a single, and it went top 20 in Billboard on the AC charts a couple of weeks ago, and we are really thrilled with that. First time on the charts for us in a long time. So anyway, that was really great. And so the album, by the way, which T.O.N.E-z is on, and I got to tell you, I'll introduce him to you a little better in a minute. But the album it was a real labor of love. It took 2 years and just a whole lot of work. We're all over the place musically. Some of the songs actually date back to the 60s. We have a couple of songs on there that were from the 60s and that I never got a chance to record like this. And also 2 songs are going to be in the movie. I Think We're Alone Now, and a new song called Distant Thunder that I hope you dig. So anyway, those are our 2 newest projects that are in the stores now. And I'd like, I want to sign these for you if you'd like me to. I'd be happy to sign whatever you have, well, within reason. And I'd like to turn this over for a minute to T.O.N.E.z, who is, by the way, we did a brand new version of Dragging the Line on this album. It's going to be a single. And Tone put a rap to it that just works so great. I couldn't believe it. And we're very, very proud of that. We also did a remake of the Rolling Stones' This Could Be the Last Time, and he did a rap on that too. And another song called Slam, which is a brand new song. So he's literally all over the album. I'm very proud to have him on. He's great. So I'd like to introduce him to you officially right now. Ladies and gentlemen, T.O.N.E.z.
I know nothing, I seen nothing. I wasn't even born yet. But as far as the album goes, I'm on 3 tracks. How I even, you're probably looking at like, how did this even happen? Even I'm saying. We have a mutual friend, his name is Fred Mineo. And I was signed to a record label a long time ago. And Fred contacted me and said, hey, have you ever heard of Tommy James? I'm like, of course I heard of Tommy James. And he said, well, he's doing an album, he's doing a book and stuff. He wanted you to work, some rap on some songs. And I said, well, I'm not touching Crimson Clover. Right now, it'll be a bunch of booze right now. So I didn't want to touch the classic like that. But Dragging the Line is a classic, and when he sent it to me right away, I did it. And we linked up. And where I'm from, born and raised in the Bronx, and I did I guess you could say, one of my biggest things, it was a TV show called Justified. It's on the FX channel, and I did the theme song for that. So that's how I got, I guess, somewhat bigger in the music business.
He didn't tell you he was nominated for
I was and I was nominated for Emmy for I ain't counting. Gotta love. So anyway, so I did Dragging the Line, and then he loved it, and he says, hey, would you like to do another one? And of course I'm like, I paused for about 18 seconds, as long as it took, and then I just, I said, yeah, of course. So we did Dragging the Line, then we did Slam was the last one. No, we did Slam, and then the Rolling Stones remake of The Last Time, which I was figuring, I was like, the Rolling Stones, they're not gonna rap on everything. And then we did it, and it was accepted. So I'm on 3 songs on the album, and I'll sign it too.
Yeah.
And my face is in there, so when you open it up, you see my face. I still don't know anything. without anything, right?
We'll take your camera to take pictures. And
Okay.
while I know it's a little early, I do want to point out that we have Tommy's Christmas vinyl with us. If anybody would like a copy, you can just step right back there. And
A limited version of vinyl, but anyway, who wants a Christmas album download? You know what I mean? You want that.
You don't want that.
Christmas, man. I love Christmas.